producer time. I love you, cat. Hello everyone. Thanks so much for tuning into this video. My dog is walking around the set as per usual. Thanks for joining. If you're new here, my name is Shauna and this is my booktube channel. Today we are going to be doing the mid-year freak out tag. Now I realize I am just a tad late on this because for some reason in my brain I was thinking July was the middle of the year when in actuality it's June. So I'm doing it this month. It's totally fine. We're just gonna catch up on all of our reading goals. So without further ado, we'll just jump right into all the questions. All right, so the first question is best book so far this year. And that is going to be Release by Lucy Christopher. If you didn't watch my last video with my June reading wrap up, you will know that blew my mind. So that easily, when I read this question, I'm like, it's immediately, I know it's Release by Lucy Christopher. If you want to go check it out and find out what it's about, I'll link that other video down below in the description so you can check it out. But yeah, that 5 stars across the board. All right, the next question is the best sequel you have read so far this year. And I wanted to give it to Release by Lucy Christopher again, because it technically is a sequel. It's the second book in the Stolen series. But I want to try not to repeat too much of the same books. So I am giving this to Before Your Memory Fades and Before We Say Goodbye. Those are the two that I absolutely love. And I will link all the videos down in the description below where I talk about these books, because I have talked about all of these books that I've read so far this year. They are so good. This is from the series Before the Coffee Gets Cold. And it's such a heartwarming, cute little series that the sequels just, they constantly he keeps it up. He keeps it alive, he keeps it good, and I just absolutely love that series. So I'll have to give those sequels to this answer for this year. So the next question is, what is a new release that has come out that you have not read so far this year? And I don't know exactly when this one came out, but it's been on my radar for a few months where I'm like, I want to read it. But it's called Five Broken Blades, and I just know that I want to read it. Everyone's talking about it. Everybody's saying it's really, really good. I'm seeing it everywhere, and I really want to jump into that. Just haven't been able to do it just yet. Everything else has been coming before it. So that is a new release that I really want to read this year. Okay, so next question. We're moving right along. What is a release that is coming out later this year that is like your most anticipated? And that has to be Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. If you guys have been following me at all on my channel, you'll know that I absolutely love this author. And I have constantly talked about The House in the Cerulean Sea that he writes. So he's written that, and my favorite of his is Under the Whispering Door. But The House in the Cerulean Sea is the first book I ever read by him, and Somewhere Beyond the Sea is going to be the second book in that series. So it's coming out later this year, and I'm so excited for it. I'm already seeing the pre-sales go up for it, so I cannot wait to read that one when it comes out. Okay, so biggest disappointment of the year so far. I love and hate this question because it was so hyped and it was so anticipated by not only me, but so many people and my best friend Jordan. And it is Crescent City 3 by Sarah J. Maas, House of Flame and Shadow. For some reason, it just fell flat. It was way too long for no reason. And there was just so much in there that nobody asked for, and she didn't give us enough of what we really wanted. So I think that was the biggest disappointment. I think mainly because it was so hyped and we were all so ready for it and so excited because she hadn't released a new one in that series in quite a while. So we were really looking forward to it. So unfortunately, that one just was the biggest disappointment of the year so far. The biggest surprise of the year. So I had to give this to What Moves the Dead by Kingfisher. And again, I'll link that one down below so you can go watch me talk all about it. But that one surprised me the most because it was a very small, like just horror novel. And it is a loose interpretation, or it's a retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's The Fall of the House of Usher. And it's so eerie and so spooky and so good, and just what I needed to get me through the middle of the year into October. I know we're not even close yet, but we're past July 4th, so I feel like it's time for Halloween. So Lily, you're with me, right? She's asleep. Okay, moving on. Okay, so do you have a new favorite author for the year? Anybody that you've discovered? And this has to be for me, Katee Robert and Emily McIntire. Both of them dark romance writers, and I freaking love them so far, everything I've read. Katee Roberts writes the Dark Olympus series, and so she does retellings of she sets all of the Greek gods into a modern day setting, and tells their love story. So we have like Hades and Persephone, we have Psyche and Eros, and so on and so forth. So that series, what I've read so far, has been really good. So she has easily become a new favorite author of mine. Emily McIntire writes also dark romance, and she does retellings as well, but she does the retellings of like Disney villains, essentially. So the first book that she wrote is Hooked, and we're actually following Hook from Peter Pan, and it is a like I said, dark romance between him and the daughter of Peter Pan. And it's really good. That series kind of continues, but none of them are related whatsoever. So I know she does one with Scar. She does one, the other one that I read is, I think that one is Wretched. And that one is about the Wicked Witch of the West, and her love story. So it's really cool. It's told from the villain's perspective, and they get a chance at love. So it's really good, really spicy, but I'm loving both of these authors. The next one is, do you have a new fictional crush? I'm filming this video as my husband sits right off to the side. Yes, so it's actually gonna be James from Hooked. It's Captain Hook, basically. Yeah, he stole my heart. I have the biggest crush on him now. And Jordan and Kelsey, my two like book buddies, my book besties, got me to read this book. And I'm like, dang y'all, yeah, he's a cool dude, even though he murders people. It's in the drug business. Just read the book, it's so good. I promise it's really good. Okay, books that made you cry. So this one, not a lot have made me cry recently. So unfortunately, I did have to repeat on this one, but Stolen and Release, they always make me cry, by Lucy Christopher, if you didn't know. Both of these books are just explore so many deep topics and make you feel for these characters in such a vivid way. It's so hard to describe, but it's just so emotional, and you take such an emotional ride with them that you can't help, like I couldn't help it. I had to cry. I always cry when I read Stolen, and then I read Release for the first time this year, and I lost it. Books that made you happy. So this one, again, I have to repeat because these ones just always make my heart so happy, but it's Before Your Memory Fades and Before We Say Goodbye, and that is from the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. So again, I talk about those books and what they are, but they just always warm my heart so much when I read them that I just had to add them to this answer. They had to be the answer to this question. There was just no way around it. Okay, so the next one is the most beautiful book that you have either bought or been gifted this year. And I have bought it, but it hasn't come in yet. It's coming in later this year. I know, it comes, I had to purchase it early because it would have sold out. And it actually has sold out from what I remember. But it is a special collector's edition of Throne of Glass. It is my absolute favorite series by Sarah J. Maas, by any author. Like, Throne of Glass is just up there. If you can't already see like I can't do this right. If you can't already see my Sarah J. Maas shelf over here, I have a whole shelf dedicated to her, like any normal book person. But yes, I purchased a special edition of that series, and it's coming in October. I'm so excited to get it because it's absolutely beautiful. Trust me, I will film a whole video of unboxing it. My friend Jordan said we're throwing a ceremony and everything, so you guys will definitely see it, but that is the one that I have bought this year. I just haven't gotten it yet, so you'll see it later on this year. Okay, so the last question is going to be, what books do you still have to read for the rest of the year? So there's a few, so I'm gonna go back down, but A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle Jenson. This one has been on my list for a while, and I actually have it checked out with the library, so I really need to read it. This one is definitely on my must read by the end of the year list. The other one is gonna be Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I know. I still have not read this series, but Jordan has bought the first book too, so we are planning on reading it together. We will finish it by the end of this year. And then the last one is going to be The Invisible Life of Addie Larue, because that one has also been on my list probably the longest, and it has been on my shelf for the longest. I just need to do it this year. I say it every year, but I gotta go. I gotta finish it this year. It's gotta be there. Okay, so that was the last question in the tag, but I did want to check in and let you guys know. So I set my goal to read 70 books for this year. I will link my goals video down below of what I wanted to accomplish this year. But my goal for this year is to read 70 books, and so far I am at 36. I've read 36 books so far this year, out of the 70 that I'm trying to reach. Right now, my Goodreads is telling me that I am on track. I just need to keep pushing forward. I was ahead for a minute there, but now I'm just back on track. So I'm trucking along, but yeah, that is the rest of this video. That is the rest of the tag. I would love to know where you guys are at. If you film these videos and these book tags, I would love to see it. Tag yourself down below in the comments. I would love to check out your videos. Let me know where you're at with your reading goals. How are you guys doing? Let's check in. We're halfway through the year. A little more than halfway, it's fine. But we're trucking along and we're moving and we're hitting those reading goals. But if you're not, it's okay. As long as you are enjoying your reading year, that is all that matters. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you guys gave it a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you're notified every time I post a new video. If you are not aware, I'm also a freelance editor, so I do editing, I do developmental editing as well as proofreading and manuscript evaluations. If you are an author or you have an author friend who needs some editing services, please feel free to reach out. I link all of my information down below to my website and my social pages. Go follow me, go reach out. I would love to hear from you guys. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video very soon. Bye. You mitsy kitty. You said, Mom, I was taking a nap.